This stream is proudly supported by the Institute's corporate partners: BlueScope, Dulux, Brickworks, Bondor, Lysart, Fielders, Bosch, Built Environment Channel, NBS, Planned Cover, and Architecture Media.
Well, good evening and welcome to the 2021 Newcastle Architecture Awards. I'm Viv O'Connell and it's my pleasure to be your host this evening. I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional custodians of Newcastle, the Awabakal and Worimi peoples, and I pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. Well, tonight marks the very first of this year's Australian Institute of Architects Awards announcements. Over the coming months, hundreds of projects will be considered in the Institute's regional, then state and territory awards programs. The winning projects will then be considered for a National Architecture Award, regarded as the most prestigious accolade in Australia's design and construction industry. And it all begins right here, tonight, as we celebrate great works of architecture across the Greater Newcastle region. And to get underway, I'd like to introduce the Institute's Newcastle Division Committee Chair, Phoebe Glanville.
Hello, my name is Phoebe Glanville and I'm the co-chair of the Regional Division Committee for the Institute. And I'd like to personally welcome you all to the 2021 Newcastle Architecture Awards. Firstly, I'd like to thank the jury members this year who all took the time out from their schedule to attend the entrance projects. This year we have a total of 40 submissions across the categories, which is fantastic given the year we've had. Thank you to the jurors Philip Pollard, Susan Peeney, Paolo Macchia and Joe Bastian. The Newcastle Architecture Awards program is an opportunity to acknowledge and award architecture outside of capital cities. It is vital to the region's growth and development that we demonstrate a strong culture of diverse and outstanding architecture in the region. Currently, Newcastle City is undergoing a significant revitalisation, spurred on by population growth and an appealing lifestyle. This is an exciting time for the future of architecture in the region. This is a moment to celebrate the hard work achieved throughout what has been a very challenging year. I'd like to thank everyone who has submitted a project and wish all the entrants good luck. Thank you, and back to you, Viv.
Thanks, Phoebe. Well, the jury certainly had their work cut out for them. And to tell us a bit about the judging process and introduce the nominees in the first round of categories, I'd like to hand over to this year's jury chair, Philip Pollard.
Thanks, Viv. It was a pleasure joining my colleagues Joe, Suzanne and Paulo to judge the 2021 Newcastle Architecture Awards. We visited the sites of every entry between Port Stephens, Newcastle, the Hunter Valley, the Hawkesbury and the Central Coast. We were impressed with the standard of the entries. My opinion is that there's a tangibility to design excellence that is fairly straightforward in terms of identifying. My role as chair of the jury involved being in a position to find consensus between the jurors, and that part of my role was exceptionally easy because consensus was there virtually immediately. A couple of themes emerged in the winners when we look back. One of the more remarkable things relates to the relationship and communication between the client and the architect, and how the architect can actually provide a really important service to the client by looking cooperatively at the brief I'd like to thank the architects who submitted their work in the awards, their clients, particularly those who made their homes available. In all instances, the properties were presented beautifully, and that involves a considerable amount of work and inconvenience. So thank you to all. And now it's time to have a look at the nominees in the first round of this evening's award categories.
The Mutual Bank Head Office Building by DWP Design Worldwide Partnership. The Big Tree House by Curious Practice. St Nicholas Early Education, Gillieston Heights by Quinn O'Hanlon Architects. SPCC Cessnock Activate Centre by Shack. Fronte Oceano by Anthony St John Parsons. The Mutual Bank Head Office Workplace by DWP Design Worldwide Partnership. Widden Redhead, also by DWP Design Worldwide Partnership. Newcastle Visitor Information Centre by EJE Architecture. RSL Life Care Birdwood Park, also by EJE Architecture. Federal Law Courts, Newcastle, New South Wales by GHD Woodhead. Chrysalis by SDA. Newcastle Visitor Information Centre by EJE Architecture. Minimbar by Jody Dixon Architect. Waratah Secondary House by Anthracite. Lambton House by Curious Practice. The Big Tree House by Curious Practice. Valencia Street by Curious Practice. Minima by Triaz. Port Stephens Koala Sanctuary and Tourism Centre by BKA Architecture. Widden Redhead by DWP Design Worldwide Partnership. Maitland Regional Athletics Complex by Maitland City Council with Studio Dot. Port Stephens Health One by Shack. And Gillieston Heights Community Hub by Weber Architects. Thanks, Philip. A great range of entrants. And now to the announcements. The first category is the Colorbond Award for Steel Architecture, supported by the Institute's principal partner, BlueScope.
Out on the patio we'd sit, and the humidity we'd breathe. We'd watch the lightning crack over cane fields, laugh and think, this is Australia. This is Australia. This is Australia.
Colorbond, made by Australia.
Thanks, BlueScope, for your ongoing support of the Institute and the awards program. And now, without any further ado, the winner of the 2021 Colorbond Award for Steel Architecture is Port Stephens Health One by Shack. This project utilises steel to navigate fire, termite and flood considerations while avoiding heroic or institutional gestures to comfortably locate an expanded frontline health service within an established residential context. The gable-roofed pavilions establish a relationship with the existing facility, while housing clear-span steel structures that will enable future adaptability as the requirements of the health service change over time. Shack's clear thinking is evident in the project, and their use of steel has ensured the health centre will have a legible and enduring identity within the community. Congratulations, Shack. Great work, Shack, and thanks again to BlueScope. And now to the category of educational architecture. Of the 3 projects entered into this category, the jury have awarded 1 commendation, which goes to The Big Tree House by Curious Practice. Behind an unassuming industrial building facade, Curious Practice have repurposed a former printing factory into light-filled preschool learning space. Congratulations, Curious Practice. Moving on to interior architecture, where the jury considered 7 projects, ranging from homes to workplaces to public buildings. And they have awarded 1 award for interior architecture, which goes to Fronte Oceano by Anthony St John Parsons. The jury describes the interior architecture of Fronte Oceano at Newcastle East as the result of a fascinating collaboration between the architect and his clients, both highly respected visual artists. Though small in area, each volume is at once treasured and exploited, creating a simultaneous sense of shelter and adventure. Congratulations to the team! And now to the category of heritage, where the jury have also given 1 award. The award for heritage goes to Newcastle Visitor Information Centre by EJE Architecture. And they would like to acknowledge the collaborators. The initial cold shell architectural design of the Civic Station building for an unknown use was undertaken by Tonkin Zuleika Greer, with landscape DA design by JM. This adaptive reuse of the former Civic Station building forms part of the HCCDC Museum Place area, connecting Hunter Street and Wheeler Place to the harbour foreshore. The design for the adaptive reuse of the building to house the Visitor Information Centre has incorporated much of the original heritage joinery, which was reinstated in situ. Congratulations to EJE Architecture. The next category is public architecture, where there are 5 projects in the running. The jury have awarded a commendation and 1 award in this category. The commendation for public architecture goes to Port Stephens Health 1 by Shack. Considerable thought is evident in the selection of materials, wayfinding, and the creation of a series of spaces that are at once welcoming and reassuring to visitors and patients. Congratulations once again to the team at Shack. And the award for public architecture goes to Maitland Regional Athletics Complex by Maitland City Council with Studio Dot. The Maitland Athletics Complex carries forward what is emerging as a modern re-embracing of excellent public buildings. The jury was impressed by the beautifully detailed multifunction enclosed space, which overlooks the field while remaining a robust, comfortable space that invites a broad range of community uses. Congratulations to Maitland City Council and Studio Dot. Now to sustainable architecture, where the jury considered 5 projects, and they've awarded 1 commendation in this category, which goes to Valencia Street by Curious Practice. Salvaged elements including original bricks, roof sheeting and decorative elements, such as hearth tiles, were meaningfully utilised, and they assist in retaining the character of the original cottage. Congratulations, Curious Practice. Well, we're about to move on to the residential architecture categories, and to say a few words and introduce the nominees in these categories, I'd like to hand over to the Institute's New South Wales Chapter President, Laura Cockburn, who's sent through this message.
Thanks, Vivian, and good evening, everybody. I'd like to start by congratulating the winners of this evening's awards, those that have been announced and those that are yet to be announced. It's a really wonderful opportunity for us to start our National Awards program here with Newcastle Awards. And I hope to see that the recipients of this evening's awards do opt into the New South Wales State Awards, which will be live streamed on Friday the 2nd of July. Please tune in and check it out. The Newcastle Division is an incredibly important part of the New South Wales chapter, and we're very thankful to be able to actually showcase the work that happens in the Newcastle, Hunter and Central Coast regions within these awards. It's been really difficult, obviously, for a lot of us during COVID, and most importantly, we haven't been able to meet face to face. As of next week, we will be in Newcastle, and we will be hosting New South Wales Building Commissioner David Chandler in a conversation around the regulations and the changes that are to be put in place this July. We would hope to see you there. Please check out the New South Wales chapter website for the details. So I wish you luck, and I wish you a good evening, and wherever you are that you are celebrating. And I believe that the next award will be the Residential Architecture Award. Thank you.
Alma Residences by CKDS Architecture. RSL Lifecare Birdwood Park by EJE Architecture. Loom by SJB. Valencia Street by Curious Practice. Cliff Cottage by Diana Thomas Architect. Crescent Roadhouse by Jodie Dixon Architect. Minimbar, also by Jodie Dixon Architect. Hatherley House by SDA. Waratah Secondary House by Anthracite. Lambton House by Curious Practice. House at Pretty Beach by Lars Nimmo Architects. Claudie's House by SDA. 25 View, also by SDA. Wangi Waterfront House by Shack. And Minima by Triaz. We'll begin with Residential Architecture Multiple Housing, where the jury have awarded 1 commendation and 1 award. The commendation goes to Alma Residences by CKDS Architecture. In the heart of New Lambton, CKDS has created an apartment building that responds to its contextual conditions and positively contributes to the future local character. Congratulations, CKDS Architecture. And the award for Residential Architecture Multiple Housing goes to Loom by SJB. Loom provides a welcome and playful relief to the often lacklustre built form in the precinct, especially within the residential typology. The result is a well-crafted piece of contextual architecture. Congratulations, SJB. And now to Residential Architecture Houses, Alterations and Additions. 5 projects are in the running in this category, and the jury have awarded 2 commendations and 1 award. The first commendation goes to Cliff Cottage by Diana Thomas Architect. The jury noted that clear decisions have been made at Cliff Cottage, which show the commitment of the architect in providing a wonderful, comfortable home for its owners. Congratulations, Diana Thomas Architect. The second commendation in this category goes to Hatherley House by SDA. In acknowledging the original home, the extension to Hatherley House externally mimics the volume of the existing weatherboard cottage, but expresses the form in modern materials. Congratulations to SDA. And the award for Alterations and Additions goes to Valencia Street by Curious Practice. The jury described Valencia Street as a succinct example of one of the most noble roles of the architect, that of confidant, understanding so well how a client wants to live that what is created is less rather than more. The architect has transformed this house into a lovely, livable series of spaces that are entirely unexpected from the street. Congratulations to the team on your 3rd award of this evening. And now for the final residential category, Houses New. 7 projects were entered into this category, and the jury have awarded 2 commendations and 1 award. The first commendation goes to Wangi Waterfront House by Shack. Formed by a group of 4 connected pavilions, the house seamlessly blends the casual, laid-back character of Wangi with a comfortable, sophisticated home for a young family. Congratulations once again to Shack. And the second commendation goes to Lambton House by Curious Practice. The jury described Lambton House as a great exemplar of how to do more with less, an aspect that Curious Practice seems to have mastered deftly. Congratulations once again to Curious Practice. And the award for residential architecture houses new goes to House at Pretty Beach by Lars Nimmo Architects. Due to a steep site, bushfire zoning and the natural environment, the jury noted that this building had a unique and difficult set of challenges to overcome. There is a strong intent by the architects to honour the setting of the house, with each room orientated to look to the canopy of the spotted gums and to the water beyond. Congratulations to Lars Nimmo Architects. And now for our final award of this evening, the Newcastle Architecture Medal, which recognises the best overall contribution to Newcastle architecture. And to make the announcement, I'd like to hand back to the jury chair, Philip Pollard.
And the 2021 Newcastle Architecture Medal goes to House at Pretty Beach by Lars Nimmo Architects. Congratulations once again.
Intended as a weekend getaway for the architect's extended family, the brief was for simplicity and durability. The design had a long gestation over 7 years and resulted in a remarkable gem of a building, executed with great restraint and possessing a simple, enduring beauty. The site and its sensitive flora and fauna were respected throughout the process, with minimal disturbance and careful tending to counter the necessary interventions for construction. This project reminds us that good architecture embraces its site and works with it, that beauty and ruggedness are not mutually exclusive, and that simplicity is something worth striving for. Congratulations, Lars Nimmo Architects. Well, thanks, Philip, and congratulations once again to the team at Lars Nimmo Architects. And that concludes this evening's announcements. I'd like to congratulate the commendation and award recipients, and indeed all the entrants in this year's awards program. It's great to be able to recognise and to celebrate your contribution to the Greater Newcastle area. Now, you can find out more about tonight's projects, including the full jury citations, on the Institute's website. And as I mentioned earlier, tonight marks the beginning of the Australian Institute of Architects 2021 Awards program. We'll be back on the 7th of May with the Queensland Regional Awards announcements. And then, from the 4th of June, we'll be coming to you live every week with the state and territory awards, including live crosses to winners across the country. You'll find the schedule on the Institute's website, and I hope you can join me for what will be a great celebration of Australian architecture. In the meantime, I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening, wherever you may be. Thanks for joining me, and good night.
This stream is proudly supported by the Institute's corporate partners: BlueScope, Dulux, Brickworks, Bondor, Lysart, Fielders, Bosch, Built Environment Channel, NBS, Planned Cover, and Architecture Media.